Now we're going to meet someone who is living the dream. Now this week it's Mark Andrew James, who is founder and conductor of the Sussex Symphony Orchestra. But he juggles that life with being an air steward. I went to meet him in Brighton as the orchestra prepared for its carol concert in St Bartholomew's Church.
I'm driven, actually. I'm driven by music. It's part of me, it's part of my soul, it's there. I'm really looking forward to making music and giving our audience a real treat.
Bit more.
It's the most extraordinary driving force.
From wielding the baton to scaling the heights, Mark's equally passionate about his life as an air steward.
No 2 days are ever the same. You get the opportunity to fly around the world. I mean, an extremely lucky, very fortunate position to be in. And it's just looking forward to going to work every day.
We do hope you've enjoyed your flight with us.
Do you ever wake up and wonder, where am I, when you're flying around the world?
Often I wake up somewhere around the world and I open one eye and I think, which hotel is this? Which country is this? Right, I better watch it, otherwise I'll go to the loo in the wardrobe or something like that, you know.
You can bring those out. 1, 2, 3 after F wins.
So how did you become a conductor?
That all started really at school when I was 16. I said to my roommate in the sixth form, I said, I think I'm going to put an orchestra together and do a concert for charity at the end of the year. So we did between us, and I thought, I sort of waved my white stick and things seemed to happen in the right direction at the right time. I thought, oh, I quite like this.
Yeah, okay.
Because you have to be a communicator. It's all very well just knowing the music and knowing where the beat's got to go, but you've got to communicate. It's a two-way thing as well.
Okay, much better.
On Monday I'm off to Hong Kong, which is absolutely fantastic. It's great for Christmas shopping, as you can imagine. I've got a list like this. I do take scores with me on trips, and I'm very lucky that I can read the score and I can hear it in my mind. When I'm walking down the aisles, then I am listening to something, not with the headphones on, obviously.
Excuse me, sir, can I have some water?
No.
Sorry, I can't hear you.
I'm very busy, sorry.
Ever delivered a baby?
Quite close, I have to say. Quite close. Yes, we had the water and the towels out and the bits and pieces, and we landed in Corfu. And I was going, keep your legs crossed, you know. But no, it was touch and go, I have to say, touch and go.
You tend to look after the VIPs, don't you? You tend to look after the kind of rather more important people.
Everybody's important. Everybody's important. Everybody's first class to me, Sally. And just before you start, it's the most magical moment. It really is. Everybody is looking at you. If all you've got to do is just raise this little white stick once, and then everybody starts doing something, it's extraordinary.
So do you think you're living the dream?
I think I must be. I'm having a ball. An absolute ball. There's something warm and cosy inside that happens when I'm doing anything with music.
Good.
I'm incredibly privileged to be able to do this. And flying, well, who doesn't want to go and visit all these places? So I have the two. I'm living the dream, without doubt.
Mark Andrew James there, juggling both lives but still living the dream. Now, if you enjoyed the music there, we have got a very special treat for you tomorrow night, because for the last Christmas South today, the Sussex Symphony Orchestra will be playing their version of Jingle Bells, and I've got just a little taster for you tonight. Here it is. Bet you wouldn't have even realised it was Jingle Bells, would you? And it's just a tiny little taster, just a gnats for you there, but it's going to be a wonderful version of that tomorrow night, so make sure you're with us there for South today. Now,
Christmas concert, my word, that's difficult to say, has been running for only 4 years, but it's already an established part of Brighton's festive season, as Brian Bell reports.
The Sussex Symphony Orchestra was founded in 1993, and every year since then they've held a Christmas concert for local people at St Peter's Church in Brighton. Also taking part in this year's Christmas Spectacular were Brighton Chamber Choir and St Peter's Choir, and the evening's programme combined carols with popular symphonic works and seasonal readings. Conductor and founder of the Sussex Symphony Orchestra, Mark James, always savours this occasion.
The orchestra sort of runs itself now, most professionally. It all comes together because it's a community event and a community object, and everybody really, really wants the orchestra to do well and survive, and so everybody pulls together.
There's a surprisingly little rehearsal involved, isn't there?
Well, we're quite renowned for living by the seat of our pants, shall we say. We put these huge concerts together with just one rehearsal, and that was last Sunday. And what happens is that they get the music in advance, practice it, then they come to me on the Sunday. We have a whole day session on the Sunday, and then go away for the week between the rehearsal and the concert, and then practice even more, and then hopefully by the time it gets to today, or the concert day, everything's sewn up.
The Christmas Spectacular also serves to remind Sussex people of their local orchestra in what's been an eventful year for this dedicated band of musicians.
We've done more concerts this year, than we've ever done before. We were very excited when we got our lottery grant, which enabled us to purchase vital equipment and a vehicle to get ourselves about from venue to venue. And we've also obtained a grant from the Foundation for Sport and the Arts, which will be put towards 2 concerts next year. So things are beginning to look up at long, long last.
The concert has many stirring musical moments, and despite the intense concentration involved, the players can soak up the atmosphere as much as the audience can.
Well, for the most part, it's feeling part of this huge sound, which is actually quite difficult to describe to anybody who hasn't been part of an orchestra or part of a choir. But maybe one of the few concerts where we get that, we can put that idea across to the audience is the one that we do here, when everybody joins in the audience. And so it's just a big rousing sound, and it's very exciting.
But as well as being a showcase event for the Sussex Symphony Orchestra, the Christmas Spectacular is also a big night for St Peter's Choir.
Especially for the boys in St Peter's, it's a wonderful occasion because they don't have the opportunity of singing with another choir or with an orchestra very often. Some of the boys are having music lessons, they're learning the violin, they're learning the flute, etc. And if they're able to see how this is done in the real world, as it were, rather than in a lesson, then that's something they'll remember for a long time, and they can learn a lot from it.
And at the end of the evening, the audience clearly appreciated all the efforts of the musicians and singers.
Excellent concert. It's a shame that we had to wait just for Christmas. I'd like to actually go to something like that every single day of the week.
Enjoyed it tremendously. I thought it was absolutely packed and well worthwhile coming. We feel in the mood for Christmas when it's this. We arrived about 6:30. I think we were the first in. But yes, it was fantastic. My daughter plays, and so it's just it's become a habit of Christmas now.
It's now been regarded as the official beginning of the festive season for Brighton and Hove. People come here and it actually gets the Christmas season festive feeling off to a flying start, and we hope it will always remain that way.
Welcome to this short film introducing the Sussex Symphony Orchestra. In the next few minutes, you will see the many opportunities that we can offer you as a potential sponsor. We hope you enjoy the film and consider supporting the Sussex Symphony Orchestra, the friendly face of music. We hope, after watching this short film, you will agree that the Sussex Symphony Orchestra is capable of bringing so much enjoyment to so many people. With your help, we will be able to plan securely for the future. Thank you for watching.
Right, moving on, hundreds of new CDs are released every week, and among this week's contenders for chart success is an orchestra from Sussex. It's a first for the musicians, the composer and the producer. The CD has been released by the Sussex Symphony Orchestra. Malcolm Shaw reports from Brighton.
It's a special night for the Sussex Symphony Orchestra. They're releasing their first CD, and it's a showcase for homegrown talent, composed, performed and produced in Brighton.
It's extremely important. It's actually very much a milestone in the orchestra's history, because we started in 1993 as a new boy and total obscurity, and we've come on now within the 6 years, and people are really recognising us now.
Right, this should be the final take. Oh, that's better. Oh no, that's much cleaner. That's much cleaner.
The release of the CD is a first not only for the orchestra, but also for the composer Paul Carr.
No, it is, it's gorgeous. Okay. No, don't do it there. Okay. It's nice. Just let it go for a minute.
He spent weeks in the studio perfecting his music using the latest digital editing techniques.
Well, I've been writing music for quite a long time now, but when I started to have a CD
out of your own music was a goal. It was something that was up there and you thought, oh, that'll never happen. But it has happened, and it's an extraordinary experience.
Producers chose the magnificent setting of St. Bartholomew's Church for the recording. The small independent label Claudio Records from Peacehaven strives to capture the purest sound.
We're always up against people who demand us to record with multi-microphones, many channels, lots of sophisticated echo equipment. And we find the best solution is to find the most natural acoustic, good players obviously, and the best possible equipment that we can find.
Much of Paul Carr's music is influenced by his life in Brighton, the title track of Crowded Streets inspired by the hustle and bustle of the famous North Lanes.
Programme. A 6-year-old is lucky to be alive. Matthew James has already undergone 3 heart operations, and he also has a familiar aunt and uncle, Hampshire cricket captain Robin Smith and his wife Kathy. They wanted to show their appreciation to the Wessex Heartbeat charity, whose money helped save their nephew's life.
But it wasn't any ordinary vote of thanks, as some of the country's top entertainers gathered at the Mayflower Theatre in Southampton for a concert called From the Heart. We were backstage to record the sights and the sounds.
If you want to change my timings before I go on, just tell me. I don't know what I'm going to do anyway. I'm
No,
just
exactly.
talking. When you say come off, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, your host for this evening, former Hampshire cricket captain, Mr. Mark Nicholas.
Stars of stage and of screen have given us both their time and their talent in honour of Wessex Heartbeat this evening.
Andy shall comb the hillocks.
The support that we've received for tonight's event has been absolutely fantastic.
It means a lot to you, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, it's very personal.
What's the tune?
With a song in my
What's the song in my heart? Dumbo, what's the tempo?
This is going to conduct my orchestra. That should be fun, shouldn't it? Don't know what speed we'll be going at.
Family favourites.
The prince did declare that the ball was off.
There's some requests you get that stand out as being worthwhile, and this was one of them.
Yeah, I mean, it was a heart-related thing. I had an operation less than 2 years ago, so it's nice to put something back in.
Yeah, like your heart.
Yeah.
And he shall give her his support.
Variety is not dead, variety lives.
I would try and do everything I can to support the charity. I would come and sing in a little bus stop for this charity.
Heart disease and things like that have been in my family anyway, so and I'm always keen to do things like this. Charity, it's a day off, but I don't mind, giving it to someone else.
I did not realise that one day I would consume a test all that material, and last summer when I had a heart attack and was taken into Southampton General, as soon as I was able to be, I was wheeled round all the kit.
So I would say that our relationship today is thanks to the money raised by wonderful events like this.
I am absolutely gobsmacked. It's probably the finest thing that I've ever been involved with, without a shadow of a doubt.
What do you do now?
Party.
Fantastic. Well, they haven't started counting the money, but Wessex Heartbeat hope to raise more than £40,000 from the evening. Very hard work, but well done to all concerned.
Absolutely. Now...